I know what you're thinking, and no, that's not the Cuban flag behind me. Don't worry, I haven't become a communist revolutionary. That's actually the flag of West Papua, and not enough people talk about their struggle for independence. In fact, nobody talks about it. It's not in the media, it's not in the news. You never really hear anything about it. The indigenous people of West Papua are ethnically Melanesian and culturally distinct from the majority of Indonesia. Firstly, they are overwhelmingly Christian, unlike in Islamic Indonesia, which is the largest Muslim country in the world with 250 million Muslims. And churches, faith, and Christian identity are deeply rooted in Papuan society. Nations are built on shared land, shared history, and shared identity. And West Papua has all three. Not to mention the fact that Christians cannot live in Muslim countries. We just know what happens. It's not racist to point that out. Even if the majority of people who live in Indonesia are good people that just want to live their lives, if even 5% are radicalized, that's a problem for the Papuan people. They're going to get abused. They're going to get raped. They're going to get killed. It's not, again, not racist to point that out. Christians cannot live in Muslim countries. They need their own home. And it's not like they don't have any historical precedent. West Papua was colonized by the Netherlands in 1898. When Indonesia became independent in 1949, West Papua did not immediately join the new republic and in fact remained under Dutch control for the time being. The Dutch recognized that the territory was geographically, ethnically, and culturally distinct and began preparing for West Papuan independence. In 1961, Papuan leaders raised the Morning Star flag, which is the very flag behind me, and declared national aspirations, which unfortunately was very short-lived. In 1962, the New York Agreement transferred control of West Papua to the United Nations and then to Indonesia. The Papuan people themselves were not directly consulted in that transfer. Just think about it. Your entire freedom was completely left up to an entire different people. You didn't get to vote, you didn't get to do anything about it. You didn't even get to fight for it. By 1969, there was widespread resistance to the Indonesian occupation, and the military had killed and imprisoned thousands of West Papuans. The UN met again to discuss the issue of West Papuan independence and concluded that the West Papuans should be given the right to choose between independence or remaining with Indonesia. Instead of a one-person, one-vote referendum, Indonesia handpicked 1,026 of their own loyal representatives. And of course, they voted on behalf of Indonesia, and all voted in favor of remaining with Indonesia. Understand that 1,026 people voted for nearly 1 million Papuans, and not one of them voted for West Papuan independence. Not one. Of course, that process has never been accepted as legitimate by most Papuans, and the question of sovereignty has never disappeared. Why did the UN do nothing? Well, it always comes down to money. Guess what is located in the heart of West Papua? The one and only Grasberg mine. Yes, one of the largest gold and copper mines in the world is located in West Papua. For decades, it was operated by the American company Freeport-McMoRan before it became nationalized and Indonesia took majority control of the shares. Workers' rights have not been respected. Mines have collapsed due to a lack of safety equipment. Pay has been minimal, almost to the point of slavery. And in 2011, thousands of West Papuans went on strike, which lasted for nearly a year. Eventually, workers' pay was increased, but the abuse is still very much there. Understand that the Grasberg mine generates between $8 and $12 billion annually. And West Papua as a region contributes an estimated $15 to $20 billion each year to Indonesia's economy. Many countries with far less of a GDP than West Papua are recognized and function just fine. And West Papua would not be the first nation to separate from Indonesia. Timor-Leste gained independence in 2002 through an internationally recognized process. Its economy at independence was far smaller, only a few $1 billion in GDP. yet they still gained independence. And look at Singapore. In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia with a GDP of only $1.5 billion. It was small. It had no natural resources. Many believed it would fail. Instead, under disciplined governance and clear national purpose, Singapore became one of the most prosperous nations in Asia. Independence did not doom Singapore. It forced it to define itself. The lesson is simple. Size alone does not determine success. Governance and resolve does. West Papua is and always will remain a Christian nation, and God willing will be free from Islam as soon as possible. Metsad will always stand with the voiceless and the oppressed, and to the people of West Papua, we will not rest until you are free. Your struggle is our struggle. May God bless you. We are always with you.